thank you both for joining. Liam, firstly, when I saw this fight announced on social media, I saw the poster. I was like, okay, this is a sneaky banger that's gone under the radar a little bit. So I think it's worth shining a light on it because two very highly rated UK fighters. Liam, how did this fight come around?
So obviously, originally I was meant to be fighting Joe Dean. He got a little injury, so he couldn't carry on. And then, yeah, I think the fight got put to Jake whilst he was out in Thailand with Josh Hill, and yeah, came together. Yeah.
Jake, you could be forgiven for maybe wanting a little bit of time off, a lot of activity on RWS and things like that. Why did you take this fight?
Well, we was kind of ready for, like you've just said, a couple of weeks off, and then back to it to fight on Rebellion in May. But well, my flight had just been cancelled and extended, and so we were all a bit like, we don't know how long we're going to be left in Thailand. And then Josh turned up and said, "I've got another fight for you here. Joe Dean's just pulled out." He said, "Liam Griffin for a European WMO," and I went, I can't say no to that. And I thought, with a couple of weeks in Thailand, what better way to start?
And tell me, Jake, what you know about Liam, his career so far. What do you make of him as an opponent?
Obviously, Liam's great. I've watched him since being a kid. I've watched him fight loads of times. But I'm not really asked about who I fight. I'm just going for the titles, and end of the day, we're gonna try and knock each other out. So I'm not gonna like sit here and like kiss his ass about his career or slander his career. I'm just literally, I'm going for me. I'm up and coming. I'm ready for it.
And Liam, on that, do you think the narrative of it being the experience against youth, that kind of thing? I know you still look about 21, Liam, but do you think it's as simple?
No,
Do you think it's as simple as that or not?
no, I think I don't think you should dwell on that stuff too much. It's a new fight. It's a fresh fight for both of us. You know, the better man's going to take the win on the night in it. So I don't think you need to dwell on the experience. Oh, Jake's young, hungry, up and coming. I'm more expert. Did it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to get in there, and like Jake said, we're coming to fucking hurt each other. We're coming to fight. So that's as simple as it is, really, mate.
When we're looking at motivation going into fights, I know, Jake, you said that you're only interested in titles, but we know in Muay Thai, you want that resume at the end of your career with all these names on it. Liam, the fact that Jake is doing bits on RWS right now, does that give a little extra incentive to say, remember, guys, I'm here as well?
Yeah, of course. Like, obviously, I've been on RWS and I've had quite a lot of fights in Thailand myself as well. And like, these are like, if you're world ranked, if you're world known, if you're known internationally, like that's obviously who I want to fight. So, whether, like you say, whether Jake's had a load of fights, he's up and coming, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Jake's, he's in the world rankings now. He's there. He's with those people. So yeah, these are the guys who we're fighting. So.
And Jake, let's just break it down what you've told us so far. So you had this European title shot put to you. However, if you'd have thought this is a horrible stylistic matchup with the short time that I have available to take it, you may not have taken it. Why did you take this fight against Liam Griffin? Where do you think you have the beating of Liam Griffin?
I think Liam obviously has some good attributes, and he's an awkward fighter. But I don't think there's anything that can bother me. I think I'm quite good at adapting to every style. Really, I don't think there's any one style that I feel uncomfortable with fighting. And like you've just said, he's talking about the world rankings. I'm just made up because every time I go to fight someone in the rankings, it's the same response, and it's like, we don't want to fight you because you're not ranked. You're too big of a risk for not enough reward. And I'm like, well, how can I get in the rankings if no one in the rankings will fight me? Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that someone's finally took it on themselves to actually take someone from outside the UK rankings and finally give me a chance to earn my spot.
Liam, I know that you're afraid of no man in the ring, but do you think that, as Jake says, do you think it's comparative, a lot of risk for fairly little reward?
No, I don't think so because I mean, to be honest, like Jake's probably got a lot more presence than like a lot of UK fighters anyway. You know, obviously he's not scared of getting in front of the camera, and he does a lot of self promotional work and stuff. You know, so no, not really. And like you say, he's got a good few wins on RWS. So no, like yeah, it's definitely a fight worth taking. You know, and at the end of the day, like fighters fight, don't we? You know, so if Jake's doing well and Jake's winning, and obviously again he's winning on RWS, he's winning on the biggest stages. It's like why would we not fight? You know, so
on that, where do you think you've got the beating of Jake in this fight?
Obviously Jake's a little bit of a more awkward puzzle than I think my original opponent would have been, and that's not me saying anything negative about Joe either. Like I think it was a more straightforward fight. I think obviously my strengths people know when they watch me. You know, left kick, clinching, forward pressure. I think they're definitely routes to victory for me. Obviously, it's just about funneling the fight into that direction and taking it where my strengths are going to shine through a little bit. You know, but yeah.
Jake, self promotion is something that Liam just mentioned, and it's a brilliant thing you're doing on social media right now. Getting your name out there, you're on the global stage at RWS, getting that kind of recognition. Do you think it puts pressure on you to perform? And how do you deal with that pressure?
I've never really struggled with pressure, to be honest. Same, I'm sure Liam's exactly the same. We've been fighting for so long. It's we don't really think about that. We just think about the fight and who we're fighting. I don't think the social media, I'm not really bothered about social media. It's just, that's just something you've got to do to get yourself on the biggest shows, fighting for the biggest belts and promote yourself. Obviously, the girls, Coast Combat, help me all the time, and that's how I can do so well with my socials. But like I said, I'm not in it to be an influencer. I'm in it to be a Thai boxer. That's just something you've got to do.
And April 11th, I know it's fairly close to you, Jake. It's not too far away from you either, Liam. This is in front of your home crowd, especially compared to Thailand. Liam, you don't want to let them down, do you?
Yeah, of course, yeah, but like you say, when you've been fighting for quite a while, this is just part of fighting. You know, you sell tickets, like Jake said, pressure's on every fight anyway. You know, you have a lot of support. You know, you have a lot of people wishing you the best. You have people coming to watch you. That's just part of fighting. You know, it's fine. So,
Jake, do you think that when you're in the Thailand bubble and then coming back to the UK, close to home, does that add a different dynamic to the fight?
I think it only adds excitement. I love fighting when all my family and my mates and stuff can watch. The second you get out of the ring at Raji, you kind of just want to go out with your mates and like mum and dad and that. So no, I as much as I love fighting at Raja, I love fighting in front of a home crowd, and I love Enigma. It's sick.
Liam, why should people show up, turn up on April the 11th, or tune in? Why shouldn't they miss this show?
well, the show itself, obviously, there's a lot of good fights, and obviously, Josh has mentioned this a few times on socials and stuff as well. Like, there's a lot of people like defending and fighting for UK world ranking spots as well. So the card through and through is really good, and I think mine and Jake's fight speaks for itself. You know, like Jake always comes to fight, I always come to fight. Yeah, we're gonna fucking both bring it. You know, so yeah.
Jake, do you agree with that? What makes this fight so interesting for the let's say the neutral viewer?
I think like Liam's just said, you don't even need to hype up this fight because it's good enough on its own. We've both proven that we're up there with the best in the country, and like he said, the best man on the night's going to win. We're both coming to hurt each other. Let's see who gets it.
No, well, you're both two standout fighters in the UK, and Liam, you have been for I'm not aging you, but you've been for a long time. I remember seeing you at the old Super Showdown fights.
Oh yeah.
I think when I watch you fight, I think of the strength of the left kick, as you say, of that pressure. Jake, on RWS, you've looked so impressive. That awkward style, like you say, you can be in the face as well of your opponents. Jake, does this fight go the distance on April the 11th?
Liam is tough. He's fit. He's always ready for a 5-round fight, but I don't believe that it will go to the distance.
Liam, same question to you. Do you hear the final bell?
Listen, mate, I never come to try and get to the final bell either. So yeah.